Hello, everyone. Good kind of afternoon. It's getting on to the afternoon. So, um, okay. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I really do. I feel like, what the hell is going on over here? But anyway, you know, every day is a new day on MobTube, right? So, first thing I want to talk about is Johnny Mack. Now, um, me and Johnny have had our differences, absolutely. I felt he betrayed me. He feels I betrayed him. There's been back and forth. And then when this happened, this thing happened with MRE where they were trying to dox him and whatever. My thing with Johnny Mack, and Johnny Mack, you have to admit this, is I told you from the very beginning, you had always wanted to get up under FBI for whatever reason. But I told you they were going to use you, and they did. And, you've kind of acknowledged that in some, I hadn't looked at any of his shows actually until the other day. And I looked the other day. Why did I look the other day? It was for some reason. Anyway, I watched it, and he basically acknowledged what I told you from the beginning, Johnny Mack. But anyway, I've said a lot of things from the beginning that aren't acknowledged on here. Wonder why that is. But in any event, I just want to share something with you right quick. Let's see if it'll let me do it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I want you to listen to this. Okay, let me see if it works. Hold up.
I believe the law office has something to do with bankruptcies or something. So basically, they get into people's information. She has access to people's personal information more than the average person would because of her position at the law firm. She has exploited that time and time again. I know that for a fact because I've been on calls 3 ways where he's had Tina on the phone saying, "All right, baby, we're going to do a deep dive on this one. Bro, look, we getting ready to get him, bro. Listen, let me call Tina. Bro, hold on. Let me call Tina. Hold on. And he calls her up, and goes typing away. Okay, this is what is coming up, and she starts fucking telling him all kinds of the fucking bullshit, and he's writing it down and getting ready for his next show so he can dox people like.
Okay, so I'm going to say this to Johnny Mack. Thank you for verifying what's been said, by Chicago Muscle. We wouldn't have known this without him. And thank you for verifying that. In fact, let's listen to it again, because this just bolsters my case. Now, some people call it ratting, whatever. Here's how I feel about it, and I'm going to explain it again. Okay, it's one thing when you've got people on here talking about, your looks, your this, your that, whatever they want to say. When it goes into real life, which is what Harambe did, he brought it into real life finances. My social was posted up. Everything about me basically has been posted up. So, it is what it is. I don't care. I'm not hiding anything. But would I want people to know my social? Absolutely not. I mean, who would? One of you tell me, what would you do if your social was put up there for all to see, for anyone to use by a known credit card fraudster, a total fraudster? What would you do? So, I'm doing everything. I've reported it to every single agency I can think of. I've gone a step further than that, and it's going to be a couple of days. I'm going to give them a couple of days, and it's going elsewhere after that. You know, I don't feel like I've been getting the backup from the people that this happened to at all. And maybe they don't care about their finances or socials, but I do. And so I guess I'm alone in this endeavor, but I don't really give a fuck. Okay. I will do it alone. But in any event, let's listen to this again because, you know, thank you, Johnny Mack, for this.
First of all, stop fucking doxing the Monpass family.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let me.
Wife's job. I believe the law office has something to do with bankruptcies or something. So basically, they get into people's information. She has access to people's personal information more than the average person would because of her position at the law firm. She has exploited that time and time again. I know that for a fact because I've been on calls 3 ways where he's had Tina on the phone saying, all right, baby, we're going to do a deep dive on this one. Bro, look, we're getting ready to get him. Bro, listen, let me call Tina. Bro, hold on. Let me call Tina. Hold on. And he calls her up, and there she goes. Typing away. Okay, this is what is coming up, and she starts fucking telling him all kinds of the fucking bullshit, and he's writing it down and getting ready for his next show so he can dox people. Like, first of all, stop fucking doxing the Monpass family.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. Thank you, Johnny Mack. This helps me tremendously, more than you know. And so, thank you. Thank you. You know, I watched your show. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't, but I'll get into that a little later. But, you know, thank you for that at least, because that's going to come in very, very handy. Now, let me go to the chat. I'm not even in the comments. I'm over on the banner side. So, comments. Okay, so I can see you see. Okay, hi. I'm sorry. I've got to get up here. All right. Where am I? All right. Hi, Teresa Murphy. Hi, Brutally Brittany. Mob Rats Exposed. How are you, darling? Listen, we've got to do the freaking Myra Hindley and Ian Brady thing. I've been looking forward to that. We need to do it. Call me now. Laurie Love, Jane Perry. Okay, what does Johnny Mack always feels the other person done him wrong when we literally just get played by this sneaky bugs. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I think everybody, it's been played out on here. My interactions with Johnny Mack and Thin Grey Line, you know, to me, they're kind of the same as the way they operate. Now, you know, and I'm going to get into that in a minute because I did watch his show. I hadn't watched it in forever, and I watched it for some reason, but I'm glad I did. Because look what I got. You know, thank you, Johnny Mack, for that at least. Hi, Laurie Love. I'm not on my thing. I hope I gave everybody... Okay. But see, Immy, see... Let me see what else he said. He will say whatever he needs to say to be... Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay, hello, Carmine. How are you, darling? I know that you're upset right now, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay, I'm getting to that. I just wanted to, you know, show that video because that video actually seals the deal for me in a way. It does. In any event, you know, Yes, he's a, oh my God, there are no words for him. Hi, Carol, how are you? Okay, let me get down here. Sorry, I should have gone to the chat first, I guess. Yes, call me. Oh, is the number the same that I have? Because I thought you may have changed it or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, but let's do that Mara Hindley one. That's really interesting. I think it's an interesting subject. Laurie Love says, for months, Harambe has been doxing that Monpas family, saying that's muscle. Today, he's finally admitted it's not. I mean, oh my God, what do you say here? I mean, oh, Jesus wept. NSB, Nunzio. Hi, Nunzio. I haven't seen you forever either. B1, I don't trust Johnny Mack. All that being said, he's not wrong about what he's. No, and I feel exactly the same way. I feel like, no, I've had the Johnny Mack experience, so I'm good with that. But I'm very glad he did that show, and I'm very glad he said what he said, because that helps me. It does. So I'm going to give him props for that. I'm going to get to the rest of it in a minute. Now, the next thing. Hold on. Let me. I agree, especially because none of the sites like Truth Finder or whatever he claimed to use do not give out. No, of course not. You know, and the thing is, I don't give a fuck. You know, when you're fucking with my social security number, it's one thing to call me a bitch, call me a whore, call me drunk, call me whatever you want to call me. That's one thing. But when you're going into like my finances and you're fucking with that, when you're a credit card fraudster, you got a whole nother apartment in Miami there with, who is it, Yamila, running that apartment and running the credit card scheme. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Okay? So that's where I'm at with that. And let me see. Irish Mob. I do think Johnny Mack is funny at times. Yeah, I mean, you know, here's the thing with Johnny Mack. A lot of what he says makes sense. And, you know, it's kind of like a, what is it called? Like you develop like a trust in him. But when you look at it, when this happened with MRE, look at the people that went over there. And I said at the time to Johnny Mack, and he will verify this, I think, or maybe not, but I told him at the time, I said, basically, you're going to have to make a choice. Choose wisely. And I told him that. And he chose that side. Fine, that's his prerogative. But look at it now. Everything I told him that was going to happen has happened. Okay? Now, right, exactly. You know, I don't trust. Hi, JL. Hi, DJ. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. So, a very good friend of mine, Carmine, was dragged over the coals yesterday by Becky O. Now, Becky O, let me tell you something, okay? How you can drag a man that is dying of cancer, the man is very sick, he's going through a hard time. He just went through a surgery the other day on his eyes because his eyes keep bleeding, and he's just going through hell. Why the fuck would you do that? Okay, not only that, okay, this man has supported you, he's backed you, he won't hear a bad word said about you. Do you know it was him that made me look at you in a different lens? It was Carmine. Because I was going off You had been dragging me for a week, and I just about had enough of it. And I talked to him, and you know what he said to me? He said, you know, she's had a rough life. She's, you know, done well for her kids. Her kids are all educated, and she did that through what you do, right? Even though I don't really like how you talk, far as, you know, stepping on people's balls and all that kind of freaky talk that you know, I'm not a fan of that. But you know what? I have stripper friends. I've had many stripper friends that, you know, one girl, I used to take her, she would call me if she needed a ride home. She would call me if she needed a ride to the club. You know, I've been around that simply because of the people that I've associated with in the past. They own strip joints, so I know the deal, okay? And it's not that I'm looking down on anyone if that's what they choose to do as their profession. But you have no right to sit up there and drag that man. All he's ever done is try and help you. He told me, he said, listen, you know, she's had a hard life, you know, you know, look at her through a different lens. And I looked at you through a different lens because of him. What happened with Lee Cole, I looked at it through your eyes and how you would feel. I put myself in your place. And you know why I did that? Because of Carmine. So don't you fucking get up there and be running him over the coals. The man's a sick man. Have some compassion, bitch. Have some goddamn compassion. How many times has he talked you off the leg, bitch? How many times? About 100, as far as I know. Now leave him the fuck alone. You know, he ain't done nothing to you. Whenever he's talked to me about you, he's always been, you know, you have to look at it this way. You have to look at it that way. And so I looked at it through different eyes. But don't you fucking get on your show and be berating him, you fucking asshole. All he's ever done is try and protect your fucking funky ass. Now, moving on, what else was I going to talk about? No, it pisses me off. You know, he's got surgery on Monday. And the thing with Carmine is he's a fretter. He frets over stuff like that. You know, when, especially what she did to him the other night. You know, now, you know, he's one that'll worry about it. And, why is she doing it? You know, he worries. He's got surgery coming up on Monday. You fucking asshole. You know, it ain't all about you. In any event, where was I? I wrote down as I was going to go through what I was going to talk about. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, I'll come to the chat for a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you know. Well, you know, I'm not letting them into, when it comes into real life like that, you know, I got to do what I got to do, you know, and that's simple. It's that simple. I don't care what anybody says, but I'm not getting the backup that I expected from the people that this happened to also. You know, everybody needs to do the same thing, but I'm not getting that, you know what, and I'm not asking for it. I'm just going to do me. Okay. Anyway, who's that? Oh, thank you, Skunt Hunter. What is a skunt? Okay. Hey, DJ. Anyway, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't trust any him thing right line as far as I could spit. I've had that experience, been there, done that, you know. Hi, Edwin. How are you, my darling? I may be coming to Puerto Rico in April, end of April, beginning of May. I'm trying to decide. I need sun, sea, sand, and cocktails, and I'm deciding between Mexico and Puerto Rico. I went to San Juan before. I loved it there, absolutely loved it, and I'd like to see you. So maybe we'll see. I haven't made up my mind up yet. Anyway, Lori Love said I had my identity stolen in 2008. Yeah. It takes a long time to recover from that crap. They're very quick to fuck up your stuff, but they're not so quick to correct it. It can take freaking years. It's ridiculous, oh, yeah. Okay. So anyway, right. So I was listening to Johnny Mack, and hi, Maddie. How are you, darling? And Uncle Zio, how are you? So I was listening to Johnny Mack, and I heard him keep going on about this Clint, right? So I had no freaking idea. Hang on. I had no idea that he was talking about Clint, this Clint. Hang on. Clint from Love After Lockup. I had no idea. I was like, wait a minute. Now, here's the thing. Love After Lockup, I started watching that a few years ago. Oh, thank you so much, Edwin. You don't have to do that. Thank you, darling. So I started watching Love After Lockup, I want to say a couple of years ago. And let me go back to my little section here so I can pull these people up, because this is crazy. So Clint was on there, and he was on there actually with Tracy. Now, Tracy had, and this is for the people that don't know anything about Love After Lockup. This is Clint that Johnny Mack's talking about. And when I watched the show, this is Tracy. She was in prison for God knows what else. I don't know, drugs and other stuff. And Clint was like a pen pal, and he used to ride her, and she was getting out of prison. And so, Love After Lockup shows that, when they get out, how things go on, once they get out and whatever. And I remember watching that. There was Clint and Tracy. There was this dirtbag, Michael, and Sarah. He was a complete dirtbag. Anyway, and Marcello and this beautiful redhead, I forget her name, but at the time, that's the story. So I didn't realize, when Johnny Mack keeps talking about Clint, I didn't realize that was him. In any event, so Clint now has, I don't know where Tracy went. I do know on the time of the, she got out, they got married, they had a wedding, and the mother was always skeptical. I mean, you can't blame the woman, can you? You can't blame her. But they got married, and on the wedding night, the next day, they video Clint. He's on the phone crying to his mother. In the middle of the night, the girl got up, took his car, took his money. I want to say she took a credit card, and pissed off. This is right after the wedding, the wedding night. And he gets up in the morning, she's gone. Well, that should tell you everything from there, Clint. But quite honestly, here's what I feel about Clint. And now he has a new girl, Jen, another drug addict, that was a host on Johnny Mack's show. I didn't put the two together. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Anyway, Jen now turns out to be as bad as Tracy. So what I would say to you, Johnny Mack, and I've watched a couple of your last shows, and I understand you being mad at Jen because she went to the police station and reported you for whatever, which is, I mean, come on. Come on. Anyway, so I understand you being mad at that, but all the shows are Jen, and whatever. You're arguing with Humpty Dumpty. when you're arguing with Jen. The woman is clearly afflicted. Not only that, I feel no sympathy whatsoever for Clint. He's a great big girl's blouse. He is a big jam tart. Okay? Because any man that's going to sit there and let some woman, I listened to the audios. I was like, that woman would have been beat down. I mean, come on. I don't believe in hitting women, but you know, sometimes, I mean, oh my God, it would take the patience of a saint. You know, when she told him, he said, I just want to go and get some cigarettes. No, you see, man, he should have just pushed her out the way and gone and got his cigarettes. What do you mean? You know, this is insane. Anyway, let me go back to the chat. Carmine, are you in here, darling? Yeah. So I was just thinking, wait a minute, you know, yeah, yes. I did show you my rosary I got from Rome, didn't I? I think I did. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it out again. It's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so hey Maddie, how are you, darling? Laurie, Edwin, yeah. Murray, God is protecting me from my enemies now. Yeah. Anyway, hey Mike Slick. Oh, thank you, my brats. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, here's what I think, Johnny Mack, as far as that. I think, you know, you're kind of like now flogging a dead horse. You know, the woman is clearly deranged. You know, they're on something. Clint is a great big wuss. I mean, come on. It's not just that with Clint. You know, I think he has other mental issues going on. You know, he is very he's not like an aggressor type guy, so I get that. But I mean, come on. No, he's a bit of a wuss. And not only that, there are people in life that love chaos around them. You know, they can't survive without drama going on. There are many people like that, you know, if something's not happening, they don't know what to do. And I think Clint's like that. Look at the women he chooses. Look at Tracy. She was, I mean, oh my God. And then, and he's gone to the same kind of women. You know, he has a type, clearly. And he goes for women that cause chaos in his life or that beat him. There's something, you know, that he's enjoying about that. Hello, Mr. Bill. How are you, darling? So, you know, you're fighting with Humpty Dumpty. Let me put it that way. Anyway, so Mac is back alley Sally. Well, that's the thing. He was so desperate when I used to talk to him about getting under FBI's wing. He really wanted to be in that group. He really did. And I've said it before, you know, and I told him at the time, you know, when all this crap was happening with MRE, you know, I said, choose wisely. And if you look at them now, it's just a split faction. It started with Johnny Mack, Code, and Kevin, and I guess something happened over there. Then there's something going on with Harambe and Johnny Mack. And, you know, FBI is going to stick up for Harambe. So if Johnny Mack thinks he can still cultivate any type of friendship with FBI, he's not going to do that because of Harambe, number one. And the main number one reason he's not going to do that, and I said this like months ago, is because when Johnny Mack did what he did and said what he said about FBI's wife, that was never, ever going to be forgiven. Never. Not even for MRE. He let it go. He let it, he brought, he was okay. He came in, but look at it now. Where are they now? And quite honestly, when you think about that, what everybody did just to oust MRE and put him out there, where did it get you? Nowhere. What was the point? He ain't run off nowhere. The people that didn't believe it, we're still here saying we don't believe it. What was the purpose of it? And then when you look on that side, everybody's like, it's every man for himself almost. They'll come together in moments just to say, oh, we're still together. But do they like each other? Do they really trust each other? Absolutely not. A zero. Anyway, so, God, you couldn't make this shit up, I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm going down the chat a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ignore anybody. Josie, it's me. Okay, all right. Read my S-chat. S-chat. Okay, I will. All right. So anyway, hey Deadly, how are you, darling? Let's see. That CM new channel. What is? Okay. Hi Teresa Murphy, how are you? Anyway, thank you, Teresa. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. But I don't do many lives, but I thought, I've got people need to be able to interact as well as me saying what I'm saying. So okay. So yeah, that's it. As far as Clint and like. I couldn't believe it was a second. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. Anyway, so there's been a lot of talk about 90 Day Fiance. And for those of you that have no idea what that is, it's a show about people meeting in other countries, I'm just trying to pull this up. Okay, so, and there was talk of Danielle and Mohammed. Now, I watched this show from the beginning as well. Yeah, I love my little reality shows. Anyway, Danielle is this, I guess, 40-something woman, and she went online and met Mohammed, and I believe he's from Egypt or Morocco, one of the two. Anyway, so this is Danielle, and this is Mohammed. Well, I think you can tell by this picture the motive here, and that's nothing really against Danielle, but come on, Jesus wept. Yeah, I mean, seriously. Okay. And this is Mohammed. You only have to look at his fucking face to see what a snake he is, right? Now, poor old Danielle, deluded as she is, she'd gone to Egypt or Morocco, wherever the hell it is from. She got him a K1 visa. He came over here. But she also lied to him. See, he thought Danielle. See, what happens is these guys, they choose the older woman, beat down looking, can't get a man type looking woman, because they're quicker, they're easier to trap. Like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Within a couple of weeks, you're getting the K1 visa, you want to get married. So that's what happened there. He's not a bad looking guy. He can get a woman his age, and he's also a Muslim, so damn well he wants kids. Danielle's not capable of that. There are so many red flags in this relationship. I mean, my God. Anyway, so he comes over here to the US. I mean, she lied to him. He thought he's walking into a mansion. I think he was walking into some rinky-dink apartment. She didn't have nothing. She was in debt. You know, she was working, but she was robbing Peter to pay Paul. He thought he was walking into luxury, and you know, he got his eye white basically. And essentially, as soon as they got married, I mean, even on the wedding day, you know how you kiss when you get married. He said, "I can't kiss this Ramadan." Weren't trying to kiss her, and so she kept going on about how he wouldn't have sex with her. Well, I don't know that I would either if I were Mohammed, to be honest. I mean, no. No. Anyway, so I wanted to this is a little thing of what Mohammed did, and this was really messed up. I mean, I would have beat his fucking ass live, but this is what this bastard did to her. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can share this. Okay, I'm going to share the screen. All right. All right. Okay, hold on one second. So I'll probably have to talk over this. I'll probably get struck, but this is what this bastard did.
You two at the
Okay, I thought I'd stop it there for a minute because I don't want to get struck, but you have to hear this. This is what this motherfucker did. I mean, regardless, you know, poor old Danielle, she's basically looking for love. She thought she found it. Clearly, I mean, oh my God. So I'll carry.
seeing him for the first time?
Okay, can you hear me? Sorry about that. I couldn't find my mouse, but I want to continue. Hold on.
And why Muhammad?
Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. And basically, what happened is, as soon as he got his before he got his green card, he was with other women. He went off. I mean, and I do feel bad for the woman, but come on. But so many women do this. They do this all the time, and it's like, oh my God, are you serious? There is no way in hell. But that was brought up. Hey, Carmine, how are you, darling? So I'm going to drop the link. If hang on, let me see. Let me get rid of Danielle. Poor woman. It's crazy. Poor woman. I just thought, what an asshole. And you know what? He's still here. He's truck driving, apparently, living his best life. And that poor woman is, out like Flint. In fact, I think they've done another show now. She's looking for love. But oh my God, stay off the internet, Daniel, for God's sake. Just go to the church supermarket. Always remember, kids, there's someone out there for everyone. Love is blind. That's true. That is true. But in Mohammed's case, it wasn't about love. Never was. Now, for her, it was about love. For him, no, it was not. In any event, I'm going to drop the link for Carmine, actually. Copy. I did try to call you, Carmine, before this, but you didn't answer. But if you want to come on, please do. I'm just going to go to my next thing. Okay, I dropped the link for Carmine. In fact, I dropped the link for whoever wants to come on. Anyone want to come on can come on. But Carmine, pick up the link. I'd like to talk to you. I don't like what Becky O did to you. And I think you need to explain that. You can explain to these people how you had her back, how you helped her. You made me look at her through different eyes. And when that happened with Lee, in the very beginning, I thought, no, Lee's joking, whatever. And I do still think he was joking. It was a joke in like poor taste. Absolutely, 100%. But, Mohammed is not a good choice for that. Yeah, no, Mohammed, not the Aquavet. For real, no, he's not. DJ, raise a head. He's just saying hi to people. But, grab the link, Carmine, so we can hear it from you. Paste, yeah. I got my glasses on because I'm as blind as a bat. So anyway, okay. Oh, he said give him 5 minutes. All right, you got 5 minutes, Carmine. So, because I want to get on to the next subject. But, these women, I mean, oh my God. In fact, there's a new show out. It's called Love in the Caribbean. And at first I wasn't going to watch it. I thought, oh, it's another one of them freaking shows, why bother? Oh, and but actually it's very interesting. It's a very good show. The people that I started off hating, I actually now like. Hi, Razorhead. How are you? And JL, Josie, you, Bobby. Hey, Real Deal. Hey, Tommy. How are you, darling? So, I started watching it, and the people that I started, I didn't really like any of them to start off with. But as it went on, I started warming to the different couples and rooting for some and thinking some are just full of it, or whatever. And all these shows, Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiance, Love in the Caribbean, they're all on the same, excuse me, I'm sorry. They're all on the same type premise. So, but I love these shows. They make me laugh. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to wait on Carmine before I go to my next subject. I don't know if he is aware of this subject or not, but he may well be. Yeah. I watched what was it MRE did the other day on I forget now. It was I forget. He did a couple in a row, and I watched both of them, but one of them really made me laugh. Okay, so hang on, add to stream. Hey, Chicago.
Morning.
Good
What's up?
morning. How are you? And here's Carmine. How are you, Carmine?
What's up,
Good morning,
Carmine?
Judge. Good morning, Chicago. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Yeah. So
I'm hanging in there, brother.
yeah.
So
So Carmine, I mean, what happened with Becky O? You tell us, because you know, I think it's really messed up what she did.
I'm at a loss to realize why something so insignificant became ridiculous. It just became ridiculous. Not the show she did last night. The last one, it came on, and I happened to have been the cook in the kitchen. I was cooking,
Right.
and I saw the notification. And I put the thing on to listen, because when she put something on, I put it on just for support. A lot of times she deals with a lot of people from the other communities she's in that I don't know who they are, but I put it on to listen for support. And a lot of times I try to listen to, like, to try to discourage all of the hostility that's been going on with the stuff that happened with Angel and Lee, because I don't think that hostility is going to bring her any good or bring anybody else any good. Yeah. But it's a difficult subject to touch when somebody's very, very upset. You can't tell somebody that maybe they need to cool down, and it's unwarranted when they're that hostile that they're just going to.
Yeah, but the thing is, the whole time with Becky O, you've always had her back. So why did she suddenly just turn on you the way she?
Well, that's the. Well, I was making a meatloaf, so my hands were in the meat, in the eggs, in the breadcrumb, and all of a sudden, it came up and said somebody blocked whoever. I don't even know who the person was, and it said that it was. She said that it was me. Now my hands were engulfed in food. I wasn't even touching the phone. It was 5 feet away from me, so I couldn't have touched it by accident. I could. And she went on that day to go crazy. She right away got mad at me. She ripped the wrench away, and she started saying, "How can you do this to?" However she described this lady. And I answered a couple of times. I didn't do anything. And then I got annoyed, and I got off the show. And she called me afterward and tried to yell at me, and I lost my temper. I said, "Hey, don't talk to me that way. It's disrespectful. Number one, I'm older than you, and number two, I didn't do anything. I didn't touch the phone." And she said, "No, it had to be you because your name came up." And I said, "I don't care if Jesus' name came up to next to me. I didn't do it. And if you don't like that, you can go kiss off." And then it quieted down, and I thought it was over. I said, "I don't know what happened, Becky." She said, "Well, then somebody has your name, or somebody was sent from angels to do." I said, "I can't say that. I'm not going to say something that I don't know and I can't prove. That's not what a scientist does." I said, "I'm not going to say that. I don't know how it happened." I said, "But I know the only thing I can tell you is I replayed it 3 times and looked at the time frame that I never touched the phone.
Right.
All this was going on, so I couldn't have done it by mistake."
Okay.
So when she came on,
after that, what brought on the last night's rampage?
Well, she started doing her show, and then she brought up this thing again where she said, "I did a big investigation in my mods, and your name comes up, so I don't know what to say." And then she goes on to say, "Well, I questioned him about it, and he blew his temper up at me." Yeah. And she went through this whole rant twice. And at that point, I said, I knew I was done with her, because I'm not going to go through that crap with her. She wants to play that alpha female shit with somebody. She's not going to play it with me. Not when I didn't disrespect her, and not when I didn't do anything wrong. And I told her that I really can't hassle that kind of aggravation. I don't want the drama. Right. And that's really how insignificant it is. And all all I meant to everybody involved was I was trying to diffuse the situation and not fire the drama. I didn't want it to fight with you, and
Right.
I didn't want it to fight with the other side. It's not good for anybody.
When
No,
when
no.
did
Well,
this? Can I
to
ask
me,
a question?
go ahead. Yeah.
When and where did this happen?
It happened on her show. She has a StreamYard platform, and it happened. The original time it happened was, I think it had to be about a week ago. I think it was on last Friday, and then last night was when she went on ranting and raving about it again, like
Well,
telling me that I had to be the one that was guilty of this.
you're always giving me good advice, Carmine. Let me give you some. You are not well, and you need to be more concerned about your health than people talking shit and all this drama. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I just came up to support Josie because she was waiting for you to come on and chew the fat a little bit. I don't know this situation, so I'm going to listen to what you guys are saying after this. But all I can say, Carmine, is that with you not feeling well, I hope you just walk away and let these people to their devices.
Amen, brother. I'm telling you, it's really insignificant thing because I have no way
YouTube
to
is
explain.
insignificant to the facts of the real world. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah, no, he's right because you've got surgery coming up on Monday. You've had a hell week. Things are a little tough right now, and I'm just upset with her that after everything you've done, I mean, you opened my eyes as far as that. I took it lightly, and I still believe in the beginning, Lee was joking. It was off-color joke, but it was a joke. It wasn't meant in the way that it was portrayed. But then I put myself in her shoes, and how would I feel? And when you were saying about how she's constantly ridiculed and all the rest of it, I looked at it through a different lens. And then now look, here we are. All you've done is back her, and I'm pissed. She didn't. I don't get it.
Well, I can't keep using the fact that she's got trust issues to do this because I've proven to myself that I don't mean any harm to her. I don't mean any
We've all
harm
got
to anyone.
trust issues. We're in MobTube. Not really. This is MobTube. Well, not really. I don't consider myself part of.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, hey.
Yeah.
I ain't got fuck all to do with that.
But we're in this community, if you will. You've got more.
You know what I like to call it?
The other side.
I like to call it jerk off tube. And and everybody comes on here to do their jerk off fantasy, and then real life comes when they put the damn keyboard down.
Boys, that's well said. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All I want with the time that I have left, whether it's a month, a year, 10 years, is I want to do good for people, and I want to be supportive and empowering to people. And if I don't have anything good to say, I'm not going to make any drama. That's not who I am. It's not what I believe in.
Right. I know, but I hate that somebody is going after a sick man. It just aggravates me because I just think, especially one that's always had your back.
Can you fill me on what does she think you've done, Carmine?
Well, she thinks that I was like a rogue wrench in the show, and I was blocking people for no reason.
Okay, right.
And she thinks he's a double agent for Angel.
Well, yeah, she constantly says that I'm being sent to the other side.
A double agent.
Yeah. He's a double agent.
No,
he's always accusing me of having burner phones and all this really crazy.
Jeez. Carmine, what have you been up to, you bad boy?
Oh my God, it's hysterical.
Yeah, I'm playing Matahari, really.
It's ridiculous.
I told you to stay away from them wild women. What do? You go for That's funny.
But, I liked your show yesterday, Chicago. You know, I usually see him after. I'm not in the live. You know, I see him later. But everything. You know, what's so funny is everything. Like I watched a bit of him to see what he was talking about, and you know, I'm a man. Come to daddy. You know, everything he says, you have completely debunked. And here's the thing that I find slightly irritating as well. You've got people up here now saying that they have no idea. Mute Carmine, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. No, there's just background noise. So everything like he said, you debunked completely. You know, I don't know how he has the nerve to get up there and be even talking. I would be so embarrassed. I mean, oh my God, I'd be under
every charge and everything he's ever. You know why he hates me so much? Because I have put him out there so hard.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, you have. I mean, we would never have known any.
Well, he's all propaganda. There's nothing fact. There's no science. There's no documents. There's nothing. It's all propaganda.
It's insane. And I just thought to myself, you know, everything he said, you had something for, you know, and then he gets on there the next day and kind of dismisses all of it. You know, what are these people? I just don't get it. But what annoyed me a little bit was, you know, you got people up here saying now, I had no idea he had these stuff. I had no. Yes, you had, and yes, you did.
Well, I think some people have not actually seen the charges, and they thought, you know what I mean? I honestly have had people come to me,
really,
and ask for the paperwork, and they were like, "Holy shit! If I knew this."
Oh,
you know
really? Because I thought,
yeah.
how could you not have known? Because you've been saying it for the best part of a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if they don't watch you, you know what I mean? Like,
maybe so.
If you think about it, say his show, he may say something that's totally accurate, and I wouldn't catch it because I don't watch that fucking idiot.
Right.
So,
You know. Me either, but I did watch the other day because I thought, let me look at what he's saying. And basically,
well, absolutely, because you had your social security number lifted.
Yeah.
And we both know how that happened now.
Right, exactly. And I have like video evidence. I also have screenshot evidence that he did it. And another video actually where the guy's saying, I've got your social, I've got everything, da 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 da. You know, and what's pissing me off about it is, you know, nobody's really backing, you know, the way to deal with this is legally. Yes, we can get up here and go back and forth, but I'm not getting the backing from the people that this happened to, and it's pissing me off. You know, I'm hearing a lot of talk.
Hey, you don't have to tell me. I'm the king of getting no backing from people.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
I've been working on this bastard for the better part of a year, and I gotta be honest with you, and I don't give a shit who likes it. Some of the best information that I got came from Johnny Mack. Now, you guys might be, don't trust Mac and all that. Well, all I know is when I get good information and things that we need to handle him, he was right next to him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree on that point because that video he did the other day, that's going to help me immensely, and I thank him for that. However,
right,
when you look at it, Johnny Mack went from this side to that side to this side to that side, and that's the problem. You know.
I get it. I totally get it. I understand. You got it. You know, and if he is going to,
and he's going to tell all on anything that he knows about you. So if you do get to trust him and start telling him shit, next thing you know, if you do something wrong, here he is telling all your shit.
I just look at it this way. I don't question where the information comes from as long as it comes.
Yeah.
And once I've checked out the information and it's solid information, I got to say, hey, thanks. I appreciate that.
Right.
You know.
That's
Hey, intelligence is intelligence. There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it can come from like during World War II, a lot of the intelligence came from the other side because
Well,
they
the enemy is the best source of intelligence because they know what's going on.
exactly. So I mean,
Absolutely.
I look at it this way. I'm completely neutral with all these old fights and all this bullshit. I've got a goal, and it's not to sit and fight with a bunch of idiots around here. I'm gonna put that fucking asshole in jail, okay? And I don't give a damn this side, that side. I don't have a side, okay?
right.
The most dangerous fucker around here doesn't have a side, and that's me. And
Yeah.
everybody knows it. And I don't have a side.
You know, I'm not particularly a fan of Johnny Mack. He's not a fan of mine. You know, I've had the Johnny Mack experience, and to me, him and Thin Line are around the same. And so I say, don't.
Well,
trust.
if you really
I
want to
don't
get
trust it.
if you really want to get right down to the brass tacks of it all,
Yeah.
who got Thin Gray Line?
What do you
Who
mean?
got him? Who got
You
him?
did. You did.
Goddamn right. And guess who I got the information from?
Well, that's my exactly. That's my point. Yeah, but that's exactly my point. Is that they were so tight, they were so close, and for him to do that, I have to give him the side eye. You know, I mean, it's good for you, it's good for us, it's good. You know,
It's
that
good for everybody. So
it's good
gee,
for everybody. But,
you kind of need a monkey in the middle, so to say.
Really?
yeah, in a
You
way,
know what I mean?
in a way. But I'm just very mistrustful of it. I am.
Well, the
But,
guy in Florida is definitely a habitual criminal. There's no question about it. He belongs. You're 100% right. He belongs back in jail because there's no that the guy's ever going to stop committing crimes or hurting people. You're right about that.
Yeah, I'm not looking to take cold showers with people or warm showers with anybody or anything of that nature. I have my friends and I have my allies. And if you are willing to help me get things that I need to make to bake the pie, you know what I mean? One guy will bring me the apples. One man will bring me, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The sugar and
another guy will bring you the bananas.
right, yeah. And the other guy brings the bananas for banana pie. Morning, Sly.
Sly says I've had a situation that someone super chatted someone of which it wasn't me. My phone. I've PW biometrics. There is no way that I had done it, so I had all the proof. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna get that.
Well, I just, if you are going to solve the case, you can't exclude witnesses.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
In the search for the truth, you can't leave anything. It's like being in the laboratory. You can't outlook any variable looking for the answer to a problem. Exactly.
Right.
I agree with you.
Right.
It's just what it is. It's called intelligence, and it's called playing 4D chess. And it's the reason why I get what I get is because I know how to work with people.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly. So, for a minute, though, I did think I was in the Twilight Zone. I thought, what the hell is going on here?
I mean, and look at some of the people that you have to put up. I mean, you got Code. He's like 1 point lower. He doesn't count as a human. He's plant life. I mean, unbelievable.
Well, there's clearly people that I would never work with. Okay. That have personally pissed me off. And when that happens, no, I will not fucking work with you. I want nothing to do with you. You're a scumbag and this and that. I don't know Mac that well. We've never, you know what I mean? We had our deal because of what he did where you were concerned with Tony Pizza and all that. But I just don't know. I have never had a close association with him to where he fucked me over.
No, well, the thing with him is, I have. And
Right.
the thing with him is that I found, I mean, he's a very nice guy, he is. He's got a nice family and whatever. Yeah, he's had his issues. I overlooked all of that. And there were times, there was a time when he was a complete pariah and I still, embraced it. But in any event, to my detriment, because him and Thin Grey Line got together, they tried to set me up over the MRE business. That time when I agreed to go on his show actually, and then people had all told me no, don't go. And that particular night, he got on there. I guess he got mad because we were going to do it the next morning, and I'd said I wasn't going to do it. And I ended up going on there, and then he sandbagged me with FBI at the time, and I had a choice. I could have stayed on or got off, and I stayed
Hey,
on.
all of that dirty bullshit sticks with you. You know what I mean?
Right, yes.
Yeah, you can't just wash it off and everybody's going to be like, "Oh, I trust you now." I'm not a gullible idiot either. I mean,
Right.
but I at the same time, if I can work to take out SoFlo with someone, then I'm there.
Yeah, well, I think everybody, whether we agree or disagree on certain points or whatever, everybody that feels the same way about that guy needs to band together. And for me, I'm irritated by the women because he's done it to these women. And Lee Cole too, he did it to. And Lee, you need to do something too, by the way, because it was you and Danny Trio that.
Well, I can just say this: I have seen police reports. And,
well, I'm not hearing none of that. When I said, I'm not a talker, I'm a doer. And as I showed you what I did. I sent you the paperwork on everything I've done.
Right.
And, I'm a doer. And, when people are up here saying, well, okay, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then you look round, where are they? Then I find that irritating, because I'm telling you what, it's key that you do it legally and in the correct way. You know what I mean? In the correct way. And I'll tell you what I did. I first of all contacted the law firm. I explained the situation. My attorney, I have a new attorney now, by the way. Poor old Ernie, may he rest in peace. But this time I chose a younger, fitter looking one that might last a few years. But in any event, the first thing I did, I took to him. He said, well, you have to contact them. You can't just contact the bar. You can contact the bar and make a complaint, but you have to give the attorney the chance to rectify it or do something. And so I sent 2 emails. I left it a whole week. I got no response. Come to find out, and from what I understand, people were calling and she was fielding the calls and emails and stuff like that. Correct. So I gave it a week. And so I emailed him again yesterday and let him know what I was going to do. And I went on Yelp. I sent you my review, which you can put up on your show anytime you like. Right. And I let them know. And now I need some backup with that. Sophie says she's...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's not mention names. Let's just go ahead and move behind the scenes like we do.
Yeah, I forget because, I don't care what he does to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mention.
There's a lot of people that are absolutely intimidated by this guy, like I said. And
yes. Well, I'm not one of them, but, I forgot. I forgot. I apologize for that. However,
you've been completely doxxed, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't care. I've got nothing else to lose. As far as I'm concerned,
except for your finances, right?
Well, yes and no. I've had to pay to get my social monitored, and to be watching for this stuff. I'm paying for that. I want that money back. Why should I have to do this? Because this idiot brought it off of YouTube, brought it into the real world. Well, guess what? The real world is going to come back at you.
Yeah. I mean, that ought to show you what you're dealing with right there, that somebody gets so butthurt about something you say online that they've got to start messing with you in the real world. Right. And then they tell me, show your face. How about not, dummy?
Right.
Just because you weren't intelligent enough to hide your ID, dealing with a bunch of scumbags online, doesn't mean you're going to catch me slipping.
Right, exactly. So, I'm going through with everything I said, and I think the people that he's done this to also need to speak up because, the more the merrier. You know, it just. But I do have to thank Johnny Mack for that video, so I'm going to thank him.
Just what I say is to everybody, and I say it to you too, and I think Carmine can see the value in this. Move in silence. Once it's done, then you can announce it. Until it's done, it only hurts your legal chances of getting it done.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
You're exactly right. Exactly.
You know, yeah, hold up. Yeah.
All I can say is there's things going on behind the scenes that are really.
Oh, I know. Oh, there's way more.
For him.
Listen, there's way more than that going on. Lori Love, you said unhide JA. Did someone hide him or something? I don't even see him because I didn't have YouTube up. I was just looking at StreamYards. But any of you wrenches can unhide him, right?
No,
I don't know what happened there.
I'm not even a wrench, so I don't know.
You're not a wrench?
Well, no, I made a new channel.
Okay, hang on. I'm trying to see where you are. Can you comment so I can see you? I don't even see you here.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Oh, hang on, Brittany. Let me get Brittany.
There you
go. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'll just pull. Okay, Chicago.
Well, I'm setting things up on a new computer, and I just made a new account for this one, so I've still got the Alpha Omega Muscle one, and this.
Oh, okay, that's what it is then. Okay, you should have it now.
Yeah, I've got it now.
Okay.
JA, I see you, buddy.
Okay, JA. Okay, no, I see you now. Did somebody hide it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'll put him up there so they can't hide it. Yeah, no, Lori Love said somebody hid him or something, but you know, I wasn't looking at the YouTube thing. So I think ultimately, I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, this is like, if you look at last year to now, how much worse do you think this is going to get?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to continue laughing at George until he goes to jail.
Oh.
That's all, you know. How worse is it going to get for me? Not at all. How much worse is it going to get for him? Real fucking bad. Real bad.
I know. I mean, here's the thing. You know, you slaughter him every freaking video. And I think, how does this guy get up here? You know, and yesterday I was watching him and he's saying, you know, I'm a man. You go. This is what he said. This is what really like blew me away. He said verbatim, you people, you're going after families. You're going after dead relatives. He said, you're going after everybody. You're going after my subscribers, he said, why don't you just come to daddy?
Oh my God.
Hello. Oh my God. I don't go in his chat at all, but oh my God, did I want to say something.
Well, the people that sit in there in his chat are a bunch of rapist supporters, and you're going to sit and they're delusional weirdos, okay? And all I've got to say is if you hang around with a rapist, good chances you got fucking skeletons in your closet too. I know,
and he really went in on Lee, and all Lee was doing was reporting.
It's David Cameron. Is that the real one?
Where? This is not me. There are so many David Camerons. I swear to God.
What you do is you block them all and make sure you got the right one.
Okay, can somebody see if that's really him? There were so many of them. FBI was masquerading as David Cameron. He was going in people's chats and he was literally. But so I don't know how to do all that. I'm not looking at that one. I'm looking at StreamYards. But anyway,
that one that just disappeared, that was the real one.
Where? Okay, message deleted. Okay. All right. So Oh God, I lost what I was going to say. I just think this is going to get way worse, obviously, before it gets better at all. You know, I don't care. I'm pursuing what I'm doing to the end.
Well,
Either
you
way.
know, stick to the game plan. You know, these people are going to do what they do until they're stopped from
Right.
doing what they're, you know what I mean?
Right. And they
So,
say come February 1st, there's going to be major changes. I mean, I don't know how true that is because so far they haven't done a damn thing, these people.
were you talking about YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube in general. You know, it's just sounds like a load of horse shit to me.
I don't give a shit what they do. That's why I've got 12 channels. You know, they can go fuck themselves. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Hey, Sophie. Yeah, you can come up, Sophie, if you want to. I'm gonna drop a link for you.
Well, you
can
know,
come
brother,
up
your
to-
new enemy too now is Tony Pizza. Swears on every show that he's an ally to SoFlo now. That him
Is that
and
right?
the two of them
Drop the link for pizza. I want to hear it from his own ears.
Yeah, I'm dropping you the link
For my
Tony
own
Pizza.
ears. You gotta
Yeah,
you gotta be shitting me. Pizza's ally. Well, I did hear last week that he was saying that he was no rapist and he was no that. Hey Tony,
Oh,
just because he
okay.
didn't rape you doesn't mean he's not a rapist. I don't know what the hell the shit bum's doing over there. I pay very little attention to him anymore.
No, I don't even look at him at all. So I don't
But
even
like
know.
you had told me last week, if that's the best that he can reach out for now is Tony Pizza, he's in trouble, SoFlo.
Yeah, I mean, look at the panel. Look at the panel. You've got Code up there.
Do you see those pictures I put up there, Josie, of his crew?
Yeah.
Hell, I got the whole damn crew.
Yeah.
Sure do.
You know, and you talk about a list of degenerates. It looks like they got out of the Special Olympics, first of all. You know, and they're all a bunch of scumbags. They look like they haven't had showers in months.
Right.
You know, and we're worried about what these assholes say. Fuck them. Who gives a shit what they say? The losers in life. Basically, I look at the Tony SoFlo show as the toilet bowl for MobTube. All the shit goes down the drain and it catches right there in the bottom. It's that one turd that refuses to flush.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's the one turd that you have to throw like a roll of toilet paper on to get it down the fucking hole. You know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And realistically, if you think about it, all those kids over there, and guys and gals and whatever the fuck.
Guys and guyettes.
Guys and guyettes.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. They are the kids in school that sat at their own table not because they were nerdy and nobody liked them, but because they smelled. You know what I mean? And they were a bunch of douchebags. And, you know, trailer park trash scumbag people. Okay,
yeah.
That I mean, look at them. All I got to do is start dropping pictures on you right now, Josie, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, look at this crew." I mean, we got Cousin Tooth as the sergeant at arms over there.
Right.
So,
no, but I was watching him, and I looked, and he had like 240 in his. There is no fucking way. You know what I was thinking?
I love it. He buys so many bots, he crashes his own show.
I mean, oh my God. I just thought it's very sad.
It's the freaking Rapo circus. You heard of Bozo. Well, that's Rapo. Rapo the clown, and that's his circus.
Oh, apparently,
circus.
Jules and Jen are battling it out on SoFlo right now.
Yeah, wow, they're again. It's Trailer Park Wars. Okay, again, there you go. We got the kook that's fucking doped up out of her mind at the freaking police station snitching on people.
Right.
And then we got Jules, the sex trafficker, over there talking a bunch of bullshit. Come on, guys. You know, I know it's fun to watch, but he's got 240 in the chat. It takes 5 people.
Yeah, but the thing was, you know, I was watching the chat and it was the same people. It wasn't moving, you know, and I'm thinking, how come you got 240 people in here and nobody's saying shit? I mean, I know you get people that watch, you know, and don't comment. I do that all the time, you know, because generally what I like to do, I'm not on my computer or phone. I watch it on the TV, and you can't comment on the TV. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'll have the phone there in order to comment, but, you know, generally I'll just be watching. But, oh, my God, I know that happens, but I was just watching this thinking, these people must be fucking demented.
It's the train wreck that you can't turn away from. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's the train wreck that you cannot turn away from.
Right.
I have never seen. Hey, Karen. I have never seen a bigger group of degenerates.
Yeah.
In my life than on his show. I mean, I show these charges, and then you go over there and you hang out with these people. Why is it that all the sexual deviants ended up in one place? Because that's where they feel comfortable. I mean, you wonder why, like, okay, say there's a bar in town, and you see a biker bar, and it's got all the bikes pulled up in front of it.
Right.
Okay. Naturally, that's where the bikers all hang out. Then maybe you'll go down the road and there's another bar and it's a ritzy place and you got a bunch of Mercedes and, you know, high-end cars sitting in front of it. That's where all the rich people like to hang out. And then you got the trailer park. Then that's Tony Soflo's show. And that's where no one wants to hang out. You know what I mean? Except for the douchebags. And it's just what it is.
So, you know, I was watching your show and then Code came on there. And, I mean, oh my God, what an embarrassment. I mean, you know, I know that, see, this is what happened in the very beginning when they were trying to out MRE. You know, they'd all get up there, they'd all say their piece. Like, for example, if I did a show about, let's say, Harambe, then FBI would do a show about me, you know, and they're trying to kind of have each other's backs. And I know what Code is doing, but that was very embarrassing, Code. And I especially the picture with those skid marks in it. Why would you send a woman a picture of your dick with a pair of shitty underpants? I mean, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
I'm still dying. I can't stand it.
He sent her a picture. It looked like he was sitting on the toilet and he put his undercrackers down and he had a big skid mark in there. Code, what are you doing?
What the fuck? How do you know what you do? I'm going to tell you what you do. You shut off that computer and you never be seen again.
Exactly. And then he comes and does another show right after saying, yeah, he showed a picture of my junk.
DJ over here, Skidmark McGee.
And then he'll say a prayer to make everything better. That son of a bitch.
He said, yeah, you know, he's obsessed with my junk. You know, he put a picture back up of my junk.
Oh yeah, and trying to cover it up. Okay.
Yeah, but
why are you so upset? Why are you obsessed with my penis? Well, why are you obsessed with showing it to people with shitty drawers on? What the fuck?
I mean, who does that? You know,
that's his only response is, why are you so obsessed with my penis?
No,
God.
The skid mark. You're clearly not wiping your ass. What's going on?
Unbelievable. You know, I did 12 years in prison. It's obvious that I seen another man's penis, Code. Don't excite yourself.
Really?
And Brittany said, and shit stains 3 inches. I mean, they were huge, like, skid marks in there. Why would you send a woman a picture like that? I don't know.
Well, I was
Yeah.
watching Harambe's chat, and they were after that show because I knew they were all triggered, and people were like, "Dude, you got to go watch this. You got them so pissed off they're hopping around in their chairs over there."
Right.
And I went over there, and all they could say is, "Why is Maggot so obsessed with Code's penis?" Are you kidding me? Let a dick pic of mine show up out here, and it would be on every freaking thing with skid marks and the other. Are you? Oh my God!
Forget about it. Oh,
Can you imagine if they had that on me? I'd be on the cover of magazines tomorrow.
it'd be bigger than landing on the moon. You kidding me?
I know, but what I'm thinking is maybe he didn't think about the fact that he was on the toilet and you can see his undercrackers. And
I
he's
don't think he cares. He has no class.
I mean,
The guy
You know,
has no
what are you
class.
doing?
He's an animal. He's got no class.
Well, from what I understand, that picture was actually flipped out 40 minutes after the girl had started talking to him,
Yes, I heard that.
and it was
Yeah.
unsolicited.
Well, here's the thing about
Really?
that. You know, I think, okay, this is how they court nowadays. You know, back in my day, you went a courting, if you will, and you know, you went out, you talked, you had dinner and stuff like that. You didn't see the junk till later down the road. Now, you know, the fact that he did it within 40 minutes just shows what he was thinking of her. You know what I mean? No man, if you're really interested in a woman, is just going to whip out your dick and think, oh, that woman's going to look at it and think, wow, you know, yeah, I really want. And no, I don't think so. I don't know what planet he's on right now. That's
Well,
why
I think there may
Twilight
be some
is
legal
on.
repercussions. We're going to find out Monday.
Yeah,
Oh, good,
Brittany, you
good.
should feel special.
Yeah, you got skid marks and a dick pic. It's almost like you're married. Here, honey, wash my drawers. and hold this while you're at it.
Yeah, but can you imagine being married to him and having to do the laundry?
Oh,
You're
my
gonna,
God.
you're gonna have to rub them skid marks out, Brittany. No, you know. JL said, "What happened to the Chinese man who walked into the wall with the bone?"
Honestly, and I'll be quite frank
What happened,
about this. I absolutely feel that if you will wing that out in 40 minutes time, praying to Jesus, telling everybody
Amen.
He is a complete fake, and then he works with kids on top of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That scares me.
Yes, it does. It really does, Carmine. And I mean, you've got the education to understand where I'm going with this, and
Absolutely.
try and understand, the mental capacity that it takes to do that in the first place, and then you're going to, you know what I mean. I just don't. It makes me uncomfortable.
It's red flag. It raises red flags immediately. There's bigger problems.
Right. I do not. If you have impulse control like that, I don't think you should be around young guys or anybody.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that. I mean, he right after you did that show, he goes on another show and makes a show. I don't know if he was on somebody's or whatever, but he was saying that I've been coaching kids for years and blah blah blah. Well, there was a video of him doing his coaching, and he was in the middle of a field by himself. And the kids were like way, way over yonder. And he's shouting out, Billy Bob, do this. Billy Bob, do that. And then you see him walking out of the park. He had nothing to do with those kids. That's what I don't understand. And again, they would have like fundraisers, let's say Toys for Tots, and a group of people putting on like a display or whatever. He would appear at that display and act like it's his display, that's what he's doing. And when he had nothing to do with that, So,
well, I do think that he took some toys over there, and
did he?
Yeah, I think he got some donations, but here's the thing. Why get involved in that? Why not tell people, here is the address. Take the money that you want to donate and donate it to these people. You know what I mean? Like the thing with Carmine, I would never get involved in that. I just, here's the PayPal or the Cash App or whatever. If you guys want to throw a few bucks towards this cause, here it is. Don't send me the damn money. What do I want the money in my hand for?
Right.
Well, you're smart that way because it brings up a whole question of accountability then, because people
exactly.
Can say things.
I think that things are so done electronically now to where you can say, here is my local Toys for Tots. They're really low on donations this year, and the kids need something. I would love to help, kids that need a toy for
Christmas. But you know what I'd
really.
like you to ask Johnny Mack is this year, okay, let's say last year it was that's what they did. And, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't or didn't. I just, I don't know. I'm looking at it in different eyes this year because I always liked Code. I always thought he was a decent guy. I didn't remember. That's why me and you got into it over him a little bit because I did think he was a good guy. However, this
always
year.
Right. I'm always right. Don't you fucking hate that? Yeah, come on. You got to admit, when I'm right, I'm right. And the people that question me always have to eat that shit later.
I know, and I did tell you that. I said I've got to eat crow because, you were totally right. But in any event, this year... so
I won't even bring up Carlos.
Oh, shut up.
Wow.
But yeah, I you know what, Josie, I had heard.
I've got to give it to him. Everyone he said that about, it turned out to be so. At the time when he's telling me, I'm like, no, they're my friends. I've known them, la la la. Oh no, he was totally right. Yeah.
Well, it's not that I want to be right, okay? It's just that, honestly, okay, maybe a little bit, but the fact that I see certain things with people, and they're sneaking around, and their little bullshit backdoor conversations and all that. Yeah, that's the big indicator to me,
See,
because I don't act that way.
Very naive. I always take people at face value and, they have to do something really. And before I, think that way. But no, you were totally right about, so right about Carlos and the other one there, Code. I could hardly believe what he's
Well, the thing that you were talking about earlier with Code and the Christmas stuff, I had heard a rumor that had happened, like 3 years ago, that he took money from Brittany.
Because this year what they said is they had this big fundraiser and he kept the money to himself. Now, I don't know how true that is. Johnny Mack was involved in that, so maybe he can throw light on that.
Right. I can ask, but I don't. From what Britt said, there was 600 and some bucks worth of receipts, and 1,200 bucks made, or 1,100. I don't know. So he might have clipped some off the top or whatever. He did a video only showing $600 in toys he bought. Okay, and how much did he collect, Britt, on that fundraiser? Do you know?
What I heard was $1,500.
Oh wow! So that's pretty.
And then right after, see what happened is him and Johnny Mack apparently did this fundraiser, and then they got like $1,500, and then right after that, Johnny Mack went to Florida to visit SoFlo. So people were saying that he used that money to go to Florida instead of paying for the kids' toys. They split it or whatever, and that money went to that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That's what people were saying.
Yeah, I would have to verify. I don't like, you know what I mean?
Can throw light on what happened there with that, because that's what everyone was saying.
But see, that's what backs up your point, that if you go to a legitimate non-charitable organization, they have a tax number. Everything is documented. That whole,
Sorry, Carmine.
you're 100%
North
right.
Carolina said code of the streets.
And you're
Yeah.
right, Carmine. That is why I would never want to get myself involved in taking charity money, because your tax payouts and everything else. Well, first of all, if I'm not mistaken, would they not be tax exempt on charity money like that?
Yes.
If you have
Yeah.
the right taxing, the forms filed, yes, of
So
course.
okay, so right, a charitable organization like Toys for Tots is going to have all their ducks in a row.
They're going to have the
Uh,
401cs and the right documents filled out, yes.
DJ says Code should be arrested for sending the pic of an undersized cock. Man nor demands it.
oh.
Oh, Brittany said he did a video only showing $600 in toys bought.
Yeah, I like to bring receipts, and with that situation, I don't have any. So if anybody's got any, I'll definitely bring it to light. And can put the evidence in front of me. But the main thing that I think of when I see somebody collecting money for charity, they're running a scam. Why not send them?
Yeah,
Why not
Brittany,
just give the donation cash app or however they do the donations
Exactly.
to the people and let them directly get the funds to the kids,
Brittany,
You're
I'm
100% right. I agree with
you got the kids. I forgot. Okay, Brittany's got the kids and doing something. Otherwise, come up here and
Oh,
explain
okay.
this.
Well, Brittany,
But
we will
what she
talk later, and
basically
maybe we'll
said,
bring that to light.
right?
Because,
What basically Brittany said was that it was under Code's Cash App, and she was friends with Johnny Mack then, but they fell out before the Tots thing.
right.
So okay, that all right, yeah.
See, but
Because
something nonprofit that you're putting on your own cash app, there's going to be a conflict of interest there. Because how do you separate the monies? What's nonprofit and what's actually belongs to your 1099? So that's not
Right.
really a good way to do it.
Right.
yeah, because pretty soon,
Because would Code not be responsible for the taxes on that money?
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it's not a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. $1,500 is, it's not a lot, but it is when you're talking about buying a little toy for a kid. I mean.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot when it comes to buying toys. I mean, you can go
Right.
to you can get a lot for that. But what I heard at the time was, when they got this money, there weren't any toys bought, and normally he would video going to the places and whatever, the way Stax does. Stax does it every year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
that's
Now,
something you
see,
can
the
trust.
way he was doing it, though, was he was giving direct links to where you could donate for this fund. So Bill was doing it the right way.
Exactly.
I supported Bill's movement and let people post it in my chats and stuff because I had seen the way he was running the donations, and I said, okay, this is good. I like this. He's directly donating to the homeless shelters and doing things the right way. Whereas when I seen the way they were doing it, he's waving money up in front of the camera and all this, and it's like, wait a minute, why do you even have the camera? What the cash in hand? Why is it not in an account where you can verify where the
Where you can
money's at?
document it, exactly.
Right, there's Brett.
Right.
Maybe you could run,
Yeah,
tell
Brittany,
us.
explain this for us. I'm going to grab the water.
So basically, when Code and Johnny Mack first kind of came into the bottom feeder community, he would do his Code would be up there and I'm for the kids and blah blah blah. And, I'm thinking since it's getting close to Christmas, doing this fundraiser. So long story short, Corbin, mommy's on the phone. Please, stop. Be quiet. Sorry, guys. So long story short, he had all these women because you got to remember back then there was like over 300 plus new women with children and everything in the chats. People started donating to Code's Cash App, and Johnny Mack said that's where the money is supposed to go for these toys he's allegedly supposed to get.
Wow.
Well, I've noticed that his crowd has dwindled
Sorry.
significantly over there.
Oh yeah. But then so anyways, long story short, they fall out. Um Code's still collecting the money and he's showing regular updates. Well, not really showing, but telling regular updates of how much money he's got. So around the middle, I can't remember the date, but it was sometime in December. He did a video um, showing himself coming out of a store with toys and stuff. And then he showed a receipt. It said 600 and something. And he's like, there, I bought toys. No, 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 no. And then that was the last anything had ever been said or shown about it.
Wow.
But originally, he went on Jules's channel, Code, saying he was going to dress up as Santa and do videos delivering each toy to each place.
Wow.
So my theory,
that never happened.
no, my theory is he spent that 600 and something on toys, did the video to show it to get people off, to get at least Reddit off his back, and he went right back in the store and returned them. That's my theory.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
what our theories and what we can prove are two different things. You know what I mean? I've always said if you're going to make an accusation, you got to have receipts. You know what I mean? And that's go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, William Crawford says, Britt, we respect your feelings towards Code, but in hindsight, Leon on the man does no good for anyone. Lying on the man? Why is she lying? He sent a picture of his dick. Now, listen, Britt, I wanted to ask you this. So, all right, you're talking to him, casually, you're going back and forth, and then he sends a picture. Carmine, you got something going on in the background there?
No, nice and quiet.
Oh, okay.
It's probably Britt. She's got a tribe of Indians.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm muted. I was muted because Wesley's crying right now.
It wasn't me, sir.
So my question is...
Oh, William Crawford, how are you doing? You're the guy that cuts off radiator or catalytic converters and tries to pull bullshit. That guy right there is a troll. Okay, we already looked you up, bro. And guess what? He tried to call me a prison snitch because I thought it would be good to tell the authorities if I was actually being told where bodies were by a serial killer, a satanic serial killer. Yes, I am a prison snitch. When it there you go. Goodbye, William Crawford, jerk off. And he used a picture of an Oklahoma what? Oh, God. It's a completely fake account anyway. We've already looked you up, William Crawford. Yes, I seen your little video calling me a prison snitch, and we had you within 5 minutes, and we reverse searched your picture, and you are someone that steals catalytic converters, but it seems that you're all over the country, and you use that picture as a scam. So, yeah, anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I seen this
I didn't know who
yeah, I seen this clown shoe pop up over here, and, well, another one bites the dust off.
I needed a minute anyways. My little guy was upset.
Okay, so, Britt, I need to ask you this. So you're having a chat with him, and he just suddenly sends you a picture of his dick. What were you thinking? What did you think when he did that?
I kind of laughed because I was with my friend at the time.
Oh my God.
I was also what the fuck? Because we had just been.
Listen, back in the past, I would talk to Code. He would call me. We would text and stuff like that. He would send me pictures, but he was always dressed in a suit. He always looked good, like he was going somewhere, whatever.
Oh yeah.
He never ever sent. So this is shocking to me. You know, that he would just suddenly, after 40 minutes, just send a picture of his dick. I'd have been like, what the fuck is that? I mean,
Yeah, he could have started off with his shitty underwear first and worked his way up.
I'm fixated on that. I'm sorry, I'm fixated on that. I'm like, oh,
I
what did you
honestly,
think when you saw the skid marks? What did you think then?
oh, I didn't notice the skid marks actually until I was making that Christmas ornament cover up one.
Jesus, what? Oh my God.
Because I didn't really like look at it when he had sent it. Like I was just like, oh my God. And then I handed my friend my phone and she went, what the hell is wrong with it? And you know, we kind of, because I have 2 exes and that's it. And they're the fathers of between the 2 of them, one's the father of 3 children, the other is the father of 2. So me and my recent ex, we would send pictures and things like that. But when I first met him, he courted me. Like he wasn't a disgusting pedophile. I mean, sorry, a disgusting pervert like Code was. Like, because I was asking him genuine questions like, oh, where do you live? Do you have kids? Like, you know, because I wanted to get to know him. And then all of a sudden I get this picture of his dick. And it was like, what
Now,
the fuck?
listen, I'm going to put this comment up. And this is nothing against you. Nothing.
Yeah.
I just want to say something about this comment, okay? So David Humble said, but how did you get the video of you playing with yourself, Brit, that he posted on Reddit? Well, let me explain that for a second, okay? We are in a new generation. The old days of going to the bar and going to the club and whatever and meeting people, it's all changed. Now it's all online. Now, if you're in a different state or whatever and you really like that person, or you might be sexually attracted to that person, whether you were or not or whatever, they have a different way of doing things now. So this is very, in Italian they say it's normale, and it's not, you know, it is. And so for her to, you know, do whatever she was doing on that video, that was to turn him on. She liked him. She thought there might be something there. You know, it doesn't make her any kind of way. If you go on the YouTube, look at OnlyFans, look at all these fucking sites, look at that. That's what it is.
Well, another thing, too, that you have to realize, he tried to extort her with that extra video.
Actually,
exactly.
When it comes to that video in particular, like to that video,
Right.
I didn't have any of my kids that day. Like they weren't there during that video, but that video was actually from a duo call. He kept nonstop phone sex, and finally it's just like I got to the point where it's like, oh my God, okay, whatever, like, you know, like it was just annoying. And
we're living in a different time.
Yeah, but I thought that was a private video call and he had recorded it.
Exactly. When I was growing up, we didn't have all this. Now, today we're in a different time and people do different things. It doesn't make them any kind of way. It just means, you know, they have a different way of expressing themselves now, actually. They do. Now,
you're all a bunch of perverts.
I know. Tomorrow, I'm going to put the crack of my ass up on here. It's like a cat's anus, but there you go. You know, I mean, you know, now it's not so, you know, nobody looks at it that way. So it doesn't make you a bad person because you made a video of whatever. It doesn't matter. Look at what's out here, Jesus Christ. You know, it's ridiculous. And if he can send a picture of his crooked dick in 40 minutes, then why is it bad for you to do whatever you were doing? You know, what does it matter? Yeah. That's not what it's about, you know?
Well, I don't judge anybody. I'm a little old-fashioned but things are different. I mean, we used to, I used to
Yeah.
write love letters to my wife and in prison, but I always, you know what I mean? I always used to keep them pretty damn clean because I didn't want the guards reading them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What did they say? Give us a
Give us a quote.
give us a
Oh,
quote.
a quote of my love letters?
Yes.
How about, I don't know. What would I say, babe? That I thought she was beautiful and I wished
Aw.
I could look into your eyes now, but I
Mm.
can't because I'm on lockdown. And, but I would never say anything
Yeah, but
sexual.
isn't that way more sexy than
Oh,
anything
yeah,
else? I
it
think
is.
that's way more like.
I would express myself about how
Yeah.
I felt about her, but I never got sexual. I just didn't,
Yeah,
I-
no, me and my current ex, I was with him for 9 years, and he worked out of town a lot at a mine. And he would say, like, he was actually romantic before he got back on the bottle, but he would say things like, and everyone's gonna think this sounds corny, but I loved it at the time. He would say things like, "Oh, if you miss me, and anytime you get lonely, go outside and look up at the moon and just know I'm looking at the same moon, so we're together."
Oh, that's
Like
sweet.
things like that.
Oh,
I didn't get to go out and look at the moon.
Michael's like, I couldn't see the moon, damn it.
I'm gonna moon you all in a minute.
The only moon I got to see was in the damn shower, and I didn't want to.
Carmine, what is the most romantic thing you would ever say to a woman?
Was that directed to me, Joseph?
Yes. What is the most romantic thing you would say to a woman or have said?
I would think that a lot of the things, that the thoughts that I have of you should open a bouquet to a rainbow bridge that leads you to a land of timeless todays and better tomorrows.
Oh,
Whoa, we got us a real scholar and a pimp here.
I'm taking my panties off right now, Carmine.
Oh, stop. You're making me feel good.
No,
Well, Chicago,
I'm
I'm
not
old.
trying to kill you, darling. I wouldn't kill you. No.
I'm old school. I'm old school like you, Chicago. I respect
Yeah,
you.
but isn't it nice? I prefer that.
That was sweet.
That's nice. Yeah. I mean, that's what women like. That's what we really want to hear. We're not trying to see your dick and your balls, really. Although,
yeah, I mean,
I
you gotta
believe in-
know a penis or genitalia or a vagina is probably the least sexy thing you can look at. I mean, come on. It's gotta be as ugly as feet, right?
Especially a vagina. I could never be a lesbian. I think vaginas.
No, God, no. I was gonna say something really quick just because I have to go.
Okay.
But what I would like people to remember, I guess, is, I had just turned 33 years old, and I've been in 2 relationships. I just got out of a 9-year relationship in May. So Code was like the first, I guess if you want to call him a man, he's not, but the first person I have, tried to get to know in a romantic way.
Right.
Well, there's no shame in seeking out men and seeking out affection. That's not a terrible thing, Brittany. It's a good thing. It's healthy.
Right. No, I think that me and you, Britt, were raised in different eras. So, the internet wasn't around. We didn't do that type of shit, but that's what it is now. And I don't think you should be ridiculed for anything you do now because, back in our day, it'd be like at the church, the supermarket, walking down the street, the club, the bar, whatever.
Well,
so
yeah,
it's
things
different.
progress
Yeah.
as we get older, and it's not like our parents' day either. Remember how our parents used to bitch at us? I don't know how you can listen to that rock and roll bullshit.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. The long-haired hippies
Yeah. And oh, my father used to hate long hair. He was, oh God. And if he seen me now, my shit's down to my ass crack. So it's
Yeah, but you know what? You know what is everything to me? You know, if I'm going on a date where they open the door, they're respectful, you know, they pay for the dinner. I don't believe in this 50-50 shit. You know, if you're taking me out and inviting me to dinner, then you pay for the fucking dinner. I don't believe in this. What is it? Going Dutch? Go fuck yourself. I can buy my own dinner. You know what I mean? No, you're the one in my company. You pay for the fucking dinner. You know,
Hey, I've been married 30 years. Brenda can pay for my dinner. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, but that's a different thing. You know, I mean, you know, if somebody's interested in you and they're inviting you out.
Oh yeah, if it's a date, yeah, I would feel like a loser.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna go 50-50? Fuck no.
Oh no. A man pays for the meal, yeah, and picks the girl up and meets her father and all that stuff. Yeah, come on.
I actually remember with my current ex. I don't want to say his name because, anyways, when we first went on our first date, it was a lunch date, and I was very adamant on paying for it.
Right.
And so he finally let me pay for it. So I thought he let me pay for it, but he ended up, when I went outside, he went and double paid for it, and the cashier gave him money back, and he slipped it into my coat. So when I got home later, the money was in my coat.
I mean, how cute is that? I think that's cute. I think if a man is interested in you and, you know, he wants to get to know you and he invites you out, I know I would be appalled if he expected me to go Dutch. That would be the last date you would ever have with me. You know, and it's not about the money; it's the principle of it. You know,
right.
Kidding?
I would have done you one. I would have done one better though, Josie. If a man had done that to me, I would have gotten up and whispered to the, whoever is taking the bill.
Yeah.
He's got the bill. I need to go.
Yeah, I would have done better than that. He's got the bill.
Goodbye.
You know what I would have done? He's got the bill, and he said I could have a bottle of Moët Chandon champagne to leave.
Yeah.
I took it with me, and drank it when I got home. Fuck it.
Brown bag that bastard and drank it on the way home, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
No,
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was going to say this week, every week gets worse and worse. And I think I don't know, is there any does anybody on here think there's a compromise with any of these people? Do you?
Oh hell no.
You don't
Not
think
with me,
so?
There's not. It's full exposure till they go to jail.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like there's no compromise because too much has happened.
Yes, there is a compromise with me. The Burger King. That's the only compromise I'm interested in.
Listen, the first person that meets you on that gravel road, let me know so I can be there too. I gotta see this gravel road shit. And you know what's funny? People have been saying all along, well, he's in Maine, he's this and that. You have always said, as far as I can remember, that you're in the Ozarks. Not that I would know where the Ozarks is, but you've always said that, no? Or am I crazy?
Yep, I have always said that I'm in between Springfield, Missouri, and St. Louis, Missouri.
Right. That's what I thought you always said. So why is it suddenly a revelation that you're in the Ozarks? You're David Montpass. You're in Maine, right?
Yeah. No, that's just their stupidity and their...
Ridiculous.
They tried to get money off that story for research to find me. They
Right.
tried to run a scam with that crap. When you know it's funny, he's offering $4,000 for my reward. And all he has to do is get in his car and drive over there, and I'll meet him. Simple.
Right.
It's just that simple. See, George thinks people are afraid of him, but what George knows about Chicago Muscle is that I'm not afraid of him, and I will twist that Cuban head off. when I see him.
Nobody on this side is afraid of you, Harambe. No one. You know, no, nobody is. Oh, hey, Mike Slick suddenly appears. I'll be at that, BK. Oh, was he here earlier? Oh, hey, Mike Slick.
You know what's funny is they've offered to pay their trips. There's a lady and her husband who are
Right.
very well off. They both drive like Maseratis and $500,000 cars. So that, and I've seen their home. Just to know these people, you know they have a lot of money.
Oh,
Okay?
wait a minute, Chicago.
Yeah.
It went up from 4K to 5K.
Oh, did
You're
it go to
going up.
5K?
Yeah,
All right.
5K.
$5,000. Well, save your money and meet me at that Burger King. And we'll go down our little gravel road and we'll do what needs to be done, Georgie. No, see what Georgie wants is the information so he can sit there and
Exactly.
run his mouth and put kids' pictures up and all the crap he does. Well, George, you will never get it. You will never get it. You will never get it. You've been running this same scam, trying to draw money. What did he say, Mike? Did that bitch say CM threw up the white flag today? Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God.
He said what?
What did he say, Mike? I threw up the white flag.
You come on.
Where?
Hey,
Oh.
drop a link. Slick, grab the link and come over here and tell us what's going on.
All right,
You can update me because to be honest with you,
yeah,
I don't
please
have
do.
2
just
hours
drop the-
to sit and watch that dildo run his mouth over there.
He said what? He said you did that bitch say CM threw up the white flag today.
What white flag?
No. The skid mark flag, maybe. But
Yeah, if you're talking about Code's underwear, those weren't a white flag.
maybe that. What is he talking about? Oh my God. Oh my God. Is he serious?
I have to hear this one. I don't know. As
Yeah,
you can
just
tell,
drop
I've
the-
been over here. I've been over here talking to my friends. I'm not exactly interested in what he has to say. Till he says I'm coming to the Burger King, then I'm interested. Now I'm lacing up my steel toes.
So, Muscle, do you think that when Code said the other night on the show, the very few words he was able to get out because he was being a little whiny bitch. Anyways, do you think he can actually leave Pennsylvania? Or like when he said, I can't leave the state? Or do you think there's something he's done that we haven't been able to find?
I can find anything, and no, he ain't done shit. He's talking about his father being sick. You know, which if you know,
He's got caretakers, his father.
right, I can understand where you just can't drop everything and run, but you can give it we can give it a month and set it up, and you can come to the Burger King.
Yeah, he could set a date. He's just a pussy.
Wait a minute. Yes, he said you threw up the white flag today. Slick, get your ass up here. I don't have any idea. What white flag?
Okay, here he is.
I don't know. I just put it on real quick. Hi, everybody, by the way. I just
Hey,
put it on
Mike.
real quick to hear what he was saying. And he was saying something about, well, he threw up the white flag today, something about him and you or David Montpass or something. And what's his name was on there. I didn't get a real, I didn't get a good enough time to really listen exactly what he was saying. So I'm going to do that a little later. But he said something about you throwing up the white flag.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and we have Downneck Newark with us. So hi, Downneck.
What's up, bro?
Hi, Josie. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Oh, hi. I don't know who's joined. My kids are being wild, so.
Chicago Muscle, how you doing?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, I finally work this thing out where I don't echo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like you got it worked out today.
Yeah. I figured out how to pause the TV when I come on here.
So he
Okay,
said that
so-
Monpass is not me, it's a troll, and it's not you. Oh, okay.
Right.
So he
He
finally.
needs-
Yeah, but yeah, he did say that. That's right, he did say that as well. But he said something about he threw up the white flag. Did he mean David Monpass, or did he mean, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I guess I'm gonna have to listen to this bullshit.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna have to get more of that.
Oh, hello, Damien Argente.
So they basically trashed this guy for the better part of 6 months, and now today they're going to say that it wasn't me. How not? How not? What a fucking dick!
After all this time, how long has he been saying that David Montpass is you?
My name is Walter now. Okay, we'll roll with that for
it's
6
Walter.
months.
What?
Oh my
All
God.
right.
You don't
All
even
right.
sound like a Walter.
Now I'm Walter. Awesome. Well,
You're
we'll roll with
Walter
that
White. You're Walter White.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
Twister says Montpass threw up the white flag. So has Montpass said something to him or something? Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we definitely need to listen to that.
Josie, I have a question for you.
Yes. Yes.
I wanted to ask you the other day.
Uh-huh.
I see the opening scenes to your show when you come on.
Yeah.
Are you a former model or actress or something?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I see the pictures depicted on there. It looks like
No. I mean, back in the day, yes, I did model a little bit when I was young and giddy-headed, but not not on a major level. No. In fact, I'm going to tell you this story. When I was growing up, I loved ballet. I loved watching ballet. I loved the Royal Ballet, and I wanted to be a ballerina. And so I said to my dad, I said, listen, can I go to ballet classes? Because, I want to be a ballerina. And my dad at the time, because of the times, I mean, I'm not slating him. It was just how it was. He burst out laughing. And he was laughing. In fact, he had Chicago muscle laugh. And I said, what are you laughing at? He said, well, who ever heard of a black ballerina? And so now, when you look at it, you have the Harlem ballerina. I could have been a ballerina, but when he said that crushed all my dreams. So I would have been a ballerina or something like that. But he kind of crushed that because he kind of said, well, nobody's ever heard of a black ballerina, because he's looking at the Royal Ballet where at that time, it was all white ballerinas.
At that time, yeah.
Now, you know what I mean? So that's what happened.
Never sell yourself short, people, ever.
And I did, because I went on what he said, and I thought, well, he's right. There are no black ballerinas, but not realizing, all right, I could have been the first black ballerina in Britain,
Yeah.
So yeah, my dreams
Well,
were crushed.
I just want to say, Josie, that you do look like a model on those pictures you post up there. You're a very, very pretty woman. So that's a compliment. Not trying to hit on you or nothing.
No, I know.
You can't tell me that bullshit. It's okay. She's single. Get away.
She's beautiful.
I'm looking for love, but you don't have to get me a green card. I already got one.
Josie takes all compliments.
We won't end up on, what's that show?
90 days.
Yeah, we won't end up on that. I'm already here, so it don't matter. Now, where do you
I
live?
want to see George go on Love After Lockup. After he gets locked up, I hope he gets lots of loving.
I'll email him. I'm going to email him. Where are you from, down there? I mean, if you don't mind saying, in what part of America are you? I'm in North Carolina.
I don't mind. You know, Paul,
What happened?
are you in Carmine?
Oh, he sounds like a robot.
Your voice is crying out.
Can you hear me now?
It's
Sound
like
like
buzzing and stuff. Not really, no. Go out and come back in.
Okay.
Go out and come back in.
Chicago, I gotta clear something up that you said earlier. You mentioned something like you were talking about prison snitch. That guy was calling you a prison snitch. And you were like, "Yeah, I'm a prison snitch." And then you didn't say anything. And I'm like, they're gonna run with that shit like motherfucker. I said, you better clear that shit up. I'm like, you ain't no prison snitch.
Well, yeah, I explained though that there was a guy that was on that show that was trying to tell me in like third person that where these women's bodies were buried. Okay. And if I was to, if a serial killer tells me where a bunch of dead women are at, I am absolutely going to say something. Okay, that's my morals. I'm not going to. Just like I put young girls up, JC crying over there. His daughter's in college. He's a liar.
Well, he put baby pictures up. You know, I mean,
yeah, he put a 4-year-old kid up before I did that. They neglect to say that, though. You know what I mean?
Of course, you know.
Yeah, who was that he did that to again? Mob something.
And
Mobland.
Yes, Mobland.
It was Mobland and his 4-year-old son.
Yeah, so fuck you, JC.
Fuck JC. Fuck Tony Soplo. Fuck all them that want to run their mouth. Oh, he's a prison snitch. Well, I didn't rape no woman. How about that, prison snitches? And you sit over there with a rapist cheering him on. You're all scumbags. I'd much rather be Sammy Gravano, the biggest rat on the planet, as a rapist. Okay. Bottom line, I didn't hurt nobody. You know.
Yeah, Dominic, I'm dropping the link again. Yeah, your audio went out. I've just dropped it again. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a freaking joke. They're all a bunch of bitches. And now I'm not David Monpass anymore. For months I was David Monpass.
Yep.
Does that not destroy his credibility just
not only
a
that,
little bit?
What about all the people in his chat? Aren't you people pissed off what he did to you guys? He lied to you the whole fucking time. He knew that wasn't you.
Yeah,
of course
he knew exactly.
Thank you.
But he rolled with it, and all you people ran with it. And how you feel now? How stupid do you all feel? I mean,
think about it just from this aspect. What 64-year-old man plays the music that I do on his show?
Look, you've been honest with me from the get-go. I know who you are.
We know who you.
You know what I mean? The people you're close with know who you are. Fuck everybody else. I don't give a. They say, how could we roll with someone when you haven't been honest with? You've been honest with most of the people that are close with you, including me. So everybody can go fuck themselves. That's it.
I'm back on, Josie.
And yeah, that's better. We can hear you now.
I was going to say too, Muscle. Soflo's never had any credibility, so he can't lose any.
Right. I was just that's true. He doesn't have you lose all credibility. Well, I've got paperwork that he's a rat. Okay. Bottom line, you don't get out from doing 22 years in prison and get probation for an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. You do not get probation. First of all, aggravated assault is not a probationary offense if you're a repeat offender.
That's right. That's correct.
Once you've had and he's had prior aggravated assaults, so he is absolutely, without any question, a snitch. But then again, I proved so much about him, I could go for days.
No, your last, every show, it's like you really put it out there. You put the receipts up. And then he goes on, and it baffles me. I think I would be I would shut my channel. I'd be hiding right now. I don't understand why he doesn't get what you're saying. And then he's saying, I'm a man. Come to daddy. Here's something else that people need to realize.
and this is something that I've never said. I'll break some news for you on this show. I know what happened in MRE's charges. Okay. I know.
Yep.
I know. I'm one of maybe a couple of people that actually knows on here what happened with MRE's charges. But they make him out to be a rat constantly. Yep. And I know for a fact.
I know too. No, that's not the case.
No. It's something that can't be. But they sit, and what they do is they project their bullshit onto other people.
Right. That's correct.
You know, and I know for a fact that it is. All I can say is that I just know it.
But the truth of the matter about this is MRE, from the very beginning when he was doxxed and all the rest of it, he's had how many friends up there that have backed him? You know, they've known him from childhood. How many people, know him? Now, my personal thoughts on it, I was on my way back from Jamaica when all this was happening. And I listened to this and I listened to that. And my personal thought on it was, and I still remain with that thought, was whenever he's dealt with me, if he were that way, he would never. He was the first one to put one of my videos up. He was the very first one. If he really hated black people and all this shit, he would never have acknowledged my video. I had 3 subscribers when I started. He put me there and played one of my videos. And he critiqued it, yes. He didn't agree with some of what I said, yes. But he was the one that did that. And if he really thought the way he thinks, now at the same time, I looked at it, and I'm not going to lie here. Did he have those thoughts at some times? Does he have those thoughts? You know what? I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because he's not on here. I've never one time heard him talk about that shit or trying to recruit people or indoctrinate people or any of the above. Have you? Can anyone say that? No.
I've never done that. Any of that.
I judge a person by the way they treat me.
Let me tell you, even if he was like sitting up there and he gets up in the morning, Heil Hitler and whatever, he's not putting that on here. I've not seen that. He's allowed to have his own opinions, whatever they may be. But what I do know is I don't believe it. I've seen pictures of him with a bunch of black people. I've seen, he brought me in when he didn't have to. He wouldn't have done that.
Bottom line is this, Josie, the truth matters. You know what I mean? And when I see somebody getting slandered and I know better, then I will speak up and say, no, this is not true. Okay. And
I don't believe
but only if I have backs to back my stance. You know what I mean? So
Chicago, it's from credible, right? It's pretty credible sources, right?
It's absolutely credible. Absolutely
Daniel Argenti said he was in the courtroom the whole time. So if he had snitched on anyone or done anything like that, then he would know that. He wouldn't be up here saying that, would he?
The Damien would sit by him if that was the case? No.
And so no, I still feel the same way I did when I came back from Jamaica. And at that time, they were trying to get me on their side when they were getting the group ready. No, you need to denounce him. I will never denounce him, never, because I'm not seeing what you're seeing or they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? So no, absolutely not.
Well, I just look at it this way, and again, truth matters. You can't sit there and point fingers at somebody and not say anything about it. It's like the thing with Code with the Christmas thing. Until I have documented proof, I can't sit and say the guy did anything. I don't
Well, that's
know.
why I was asking Brittany about it, because she was
Right.
friends with them at that time. I didn't
Yeah.
really know about it. I was just saying what was being said. And
Right,
so
but I again,
wanted
if you
that
don't, if you,
verified.
it's just like SoFlo. He came with no receipts, and everybody believed him.
Right.
Now he looks like a goddamn idiot.
Right.
And I don't like looking like a goddamn idiot. I like to be able to back up what I say because somebody's gonna call you on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And that's the thing with, you know, all of them, so Flo, all those, you know, losers, they jump the gun
Right. And what
all
I
the
do
time,
know is
or just lie completely.
right. And DJ, no, never mind. MRE is solid, and I do know that for a fact. And let me tell you why. Because what he says is true. If he'd have done or acting the way they're saying, first of all, he would be in jail. He wouldn't be surrounded by 15 bombs and they're just going to let him go. And okay, they're trying to say, well, he ratted, that's why they let him out. But the people where he lives, the same way where I'm from, we know, and they would not in a minute. What's that noise? Is that you, Carmine?
No.
Carmine, you've been very quiet. I'm going to get to you in a second. But anyway.
I'm muted. It might be a down neck.
Yeah, but no, down neck dropped off again. Down neck, I'm dropping the link for you again.
Well, hey, I tell you what, Josie, I got a boogie. I'm going to spend the
all
night.
right, okay.
I will call you tonight, and we'll chew the fat a little bit. All right.
Right. Yeah,
on that
we will.
thing
Yeah,
we were
I haven't
talking
talked to you
about.
in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you
Say
here in
hi
a
to
little bit.
Brenda.
I will do.
All right.
All right. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Yeah.
All right, brother. You do good. Have a good day.
Yeah. Take care,
Yeah,
Kai,
Josie, I got to
Mike.
jump off too as well.
Okay. All right. Bye,
I'm gonna
Mikey.
take the kids
Take
somewhere.
care.
You got it, everybody.
Mike,
Love
be
you guys.
well.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
All righty.
Okay. So it's me and you, Carmine.
I'm here.
Are you there? So, okay. So we got a bit waylaid there for a minute. I was about to go to hang on a minute, I've got something. I've dropped down. Oh, okay, all right. So I was going to go to the arrest of no, I don't know if you know too much about this, but the arrest of Matteo Messina Denaro, the mafia boss that was on the lam in Sicily for 30 years. Do you know about that? Do you know anything about it?
Not very much offhand, I can say.
Okay, well, basically, this guy, okay, he's a mafia boss. He's in, hang on, wait a minute. I'm going to pull it up. Hold up. I'm going to pull it up right quick. So this guy, this is Matteo Messina Denaro. Now, he was the mafia boss over there. And this guy, you know, when he was on the run. Oh, it's coming from you, Carmine. There's some background bubble noise.
I don't know. I'm sitting still. I don't really have anything around me. I'm in a quiet place. Let me see if I can.
Okay, there's some noise going. It's coming from you.
Is that better?
Yeah. Hold on a second. So, I just wanted to talk about this guy right quick because this guy, they arrested him in Palermo, Sicily, a couple of days ago, right? And this guy's something else, totally something else, you know. He loved The Godfather. When they raided it, see, here's the thing. in Sicily, and I've been to Sicily, you know, there are places you can hide. They have bunkers and whatever, and it's terrainous land. And but here's the thing, you know, this guy has been on the run for 30 years in Sicily. He never left. He never went nowhere. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, what were the Carabinieri doing there? You know, it's astounding. Anyway, so they picked him up at a, he's got cancer, so he's undergoing chemotherapy in Palermo, you know. Now, the clinic that he went to, he'd been going there for like a year. Right, he was going under a different name, and how they found him in the end, they intercepted calls from one of his sisters, you know. Oh
wow!
And he's 60 years old. This is the guy, right? He's 60 years old. He looks way older, by the way, but you know, he's been treated at this clinic. He was going there for a whole year, and nobody. I'm thinking Palermo, you know, Sicily itself is so small. How did they not find 30 years? You know, now the thing with this guy that pisses me off the most is now I'm going to show him. This is, hold on 1 second. All right, let me get rid of this. Hold on, before I go here, Brian. Let me just get rid of. Let me just get rid of this first. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me go back now. This is this kid, 12 years old. This is Giuseppe Di Matteo, right? And what they did, they kidnapped this child. Because his father was going to testify against him, against Matteo, and they held him. And then what they did with the kid, they strangled him and then dissolved his body in acid.
In acid, yeah.
Yeah, and this is Giuseppe. I mean, look at what I mean, how would you do that? And so then I thought about it, and I thought, how did this guy get away for 30 years? Well, here's why. He would dress as a woman.
Yeah.
This is him. I mean, a really ugly woman, but a woman nevertheless. You know what I mean? And that's how he got away with that. But I was trying to call you earlier so you could research this a little bit. But anyway, they've got him now. 30 years, you know. I mean, oh my God, can you only imagine? And this is him when they showed up at the clinic in Palermo and dragged him out. Look at him. Yeah. I mean, oh my God, shadow of his former self, clearly. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that story a little bit because, you know, I've been to Sicily. I know that they can hide and whatever, but 30 years, what do you think about them?
Well, the Cardinale, if they don't want to find you, won't find you. There's a lot of corruption in the Cardinale.
Especially you think they blackmailed the Carabinieri?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you think they blackmailed the Carabinieri so they went looking for him?
Oh, they either paid off or blackmailed. A lot of it does with payoff. He was worth a lot of money. It's easy to pay bribes over there, and
I didn't think about that.
And they think they just look the other way. You could walk past the Cardinale and wave to them as long as they're on the take. That's the way Sicily's been like that for years.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Secrecy and silence in Sicily are still hold some value as opposed to in this country. Omerta means something there still.
What does omerta mean to you? When you hear omerta, see, I always had the idea of omerta being not just that you stay silent, but you lay off women, you lay off children, but that's not the case. That's not what it means, literally. So tell me what you know about omerta as far as the meaning of it.
Omerta is a vow to secrecy, not to silence, but to secrecy. You're accepting the rules of a society that wants to keep it secret from the public, and you're supposed to respect and maintain that among the other people within the society. If that means silence, if that means
so
it could be a lot of different things. Go ahead, Josie. I'm sorry.
So all this stuff about women and children being off limits, that's not included in omerta, is it?
No. You're
see, that's where I got confused. I thought it was.
You're out to see yourself.
I thought it wasn't.
You're personally supposed to conduct yourself that way. But in that way, there are women and children that are supposed to be included in on that secret information. They were kept out of it.
Right. I mean, this guy, it seemed that he led his life on Hollywood. He was really into The Godfather. He had a huge picture of Marlon Brando as the Godfather when they raided his house. There's money, there was passports, there was jewelry, there was all different types of things, And my thing with him, though, that I feel is totally disgusting is that he would kill this 12-year-old. Why wouldn't you give him back? Why would you not give him back? Why would you strangle him and dissolve him in acid? And he didn't give two fucks.
If you think about it, Josie, and you go back to the Godfather, the second Godfather, that Don Cheech wanted to kill young Vito because he knew that someday he would grow up and want to avenge his father or want to avenge him. That's a very serious concept in Sicily. That a man will grow up and avenge his family. They take that real serious.
Yeah, and I think, he was actually sentenced in absentia, because he was missing. He was already sentenced to life, so he's got life. So I guess more charges are coming. But I just feel like, how would you kill this baby? I just don't understand.
The concept there are very ruthless.
Look at that. How could you do that? Anyway, all right. So I'm going to get off of here. We've been on here long enough. 2 hours. 30. This is my longest thing. It's almost a marathon. But anyway, it is. It's almost a marathon. But anyway, I'll give you a call, Carmine. I hope you're doing okay. I wish you luck for your surgery on Monday. And I hope you're okay, and don't worry about
I appreciate that.
people that you're trying to protect and defend, and then this is the shit that you get. Okay.
Well, I'm just not going to give it any.
No,
it's insignificant. It's not something that I should have even been called out for. It shouldn't be that way. So I'm just going to ignore it.
Right. Your health comes first. Okay. So thank you everyone for being here today. I appreciate it. I don't do lives that often, but I felt like, I needed people to interact and give their thoughts and whatever. Everybody have a great rest of their day, and we'll see you later.
All right. You have a good day, Josie.
You too.
Thank you for having me on. I love you too.
Welcome.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.